guys, it's Hannah and I'm here today with my February wrap up and my March TBR. So I know this is late, I'm getting back to wrap ups, bear with me. So first off, we are kicking off with what I read in February. I read 6 books. I read 414 pages. I listened to 45 hours worth of audiobooks. My average rating was 3.4 and I acquired 6 new books. So I equaled out here. I'm trying to be better about that. And like I mentioned, I do get a lot of free books, including like things from my work. So I didn't purchase all of those. They're things that I brought home that I should not be bringing more home. I did go down in my ranking. 3.4 is not a super great reading month for me, which explains my slowing down in March. So let's get it on to the wrap up. The first book that I finished is Children of Virtue and Vengeance. I will pop a picture up here by Tomi Adeyemi, and I gave this one a 2.5 stars. I was super disappointed in this book. This was our Muggle Studies book club pick for January. And I absolutely adored the first in the series. It is such an incredible series. However, I really disconnected with the characters in the second one. I found that they kind of following the same tropes. There wasn't enough growth in the second book for the characters for me. The plot kind of fell. It definitely fell into a second book slump. Definitely check out my reading vlogs featuring this book. I go into a lot more detail. This one just fell flat for me, and I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series because as much as I love the magic system, I loved the characters in the first one, all of the growth that we got in the first one reverted back into the second one, and they just kind of all carried one emotion. They weren't well flashed out as well in the second one. I felt like each character just kind of carried, like, one was anger and she just stayed anger throughout the entire book and things like that. And I thought we saw the growth in that earlier in the series, and it just felt like all the stuff that I really liked in the first one got erased and moved backwards. So I don't think I'm gonna pick up the second or the third one, but if it gets stellar reviews, I may be able to pick it up. The next one that I picked up for February was the YA book club pick for February. No, for January. Yes, for January. I picked this one up, and that was Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Hing Wen. And I really enjoyed this one. I ended up giving this one a 4 out of 5 stars. This one is all about a girl who is in her senior year of high school, and she has this passion for dance, and her very traditional parents don't think dance is a worthwhile career choice, and they want her to go and be a doctor. She gets sent to Taipei, and she gets sent off to this school that is supposed to be Asian American immersion school throughout the summer, and once she gets there, she realizes that it's basically just like a socialite club where all of the well-to-do families send their kids so they can be matched up with other Asian Americans and make connections. And it's called Love Boat Taipei because a lot of them hook up and find their couple there. So I really enjoyed this. I loved the exploration of who she was, on parent expectations in this book. It talks a lot about finding yourself, and talks about like the love of dance and form of creativity in different ways. And we also get to see like how different cultures live and how that can play a different role in America versus when you're no longer a minority in a place. And it was very interesting. It was really well done, and I had a really good time with this. I think this is very similar to the book To All the Boys I've Loved Before. It's got that same good feelings that particular book has, that also has an Asian main character as well. I really enjoyed this one, and I think if you like more fluffy contemporaries that's more like finding yourself coming of age, I recommend this one. The next book that I picked up is The Little Book of Huga. I will put a picture up here by Mike Willink. And this one I continued on after reading and listening to The Little Book of Luca. It's Higgy and Luca, I think. So the one that I read this month was Little Book of Higgy. I absolutely adored Little Book of Luca. I was like raving about that one. This one felt a little bit flat for me. It felt a little bit recycled. There was a little bit too much of the like, there's like full-on recipes in this one, and that's not, for such a short book, listening to it and listening to them read off the recipe, it may have been a better format to actually physically read it, not necessarily audiobook for this one. I did enjoy it because I still love learning about the Danish people and how they live their life and how they tie in different philosophies and things like that, especially since I do have heritage that is connected with that. I'm really interested in that. But this one fell a little bit short for me. I definitely would recommend, if you were interested, the Little Book of Luca over the Little Book of Higgy. But both are really easy short books to inhale and devour. So I ended up giving that one a 3 out of 5 stars. The next book that I picked up for the month of February was the Barnes & Noble Book Club pick, which was Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. And this one was very interesting. I ended up giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. It felt a little bit tropey to me, so I didn't love everything that happened in it. But this one stars a very eccentric high schooler named Pippa Fitzgerald, and she decides that for her senior project she is going to investigate this murder that happened 5 years ago, and she is using the report to find herself and develop as doing this report, but then also she gets wrapped into finding the murderer. So she is investigating this murder where 2 senior kids got killed, and it was Andy Bell who was murdered, and it is supposed to be Sal, who was her boyfriend, that killed her, even though he had such a positive reputation in the entire town, and he was a happy kid, and he was accused of murdering Andy Bell and then committed suicide and left a suicide note saying that he was the one who did it. Obviously, if she is investigating the murder, things aren't quite what they seem. This is a lot of fun. We got to see a very strong female character who is confronted with drugs, who's confronted with peer pressure, and she doesn't fold, and she is who she is, and she doesn't apologize for that. And there is a lot of good things in here, but there is some plot holes that you can pick apart, and we did that during our book club a little bit. But this one is a lot of fun. It's not one of my top young adult thrillers, but it is quite enjoyable if you are interested. It does have a very interesting main character. The next one that I picked up for the month of February is The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. And this one was the Muggle Studies Book Club pick for February, and this one was so cute. I encourage you to go watch the live show because we had a lot of fun with that, and we just raved about this. I ended up giving this one a 4. I think I'm gonna give it like a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. This one stars a main character who is really big on social media. He does these news outlets that he posts to his social media, and he gets a ton of followers and interest and following his life. And with this, it is all surrounding this NASA launch where they are picking people to go to space, and it has a male-male romance, and it is really cute. And what's like such a highlight in this is that everybody has already come out, and it's not necessarily a coming out story. It is just about their relationship, and it makes it more normalized, and it doesn't have to be something that is a coming out story. It's not the default to be straight in this book. It is accepted. It is, especially in a place like Texas, it is so cool to see this part, and also the science aspect of the NASA stuff that they have covered in it and educating the youth. And this is a really good book to discuss about the powers of social media and how it can be greatly used for our benefit and greatly hinder us. And it is such a cute, cool book. If you are fans of Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, I highly recommend you checking this one out because this is so damn cute. And the last one that I picked up was The Bride Test. I will pop a picture up here by Helen Hong. This one is apparently the second book in the series, and I didn't realize that it was part of the Kiss Quotient. So this one follows a girl who was confronted by this mother who is trying to find his son a wife, and she chose her and was like, I think you would be perfect for my son, and I think you should come back and meet him and see if you guys click, and because I want grandchildren and I want him to be able to have a family and to have a wife and to have a life. So she leaves her child and her mother behind, and she travels all the way to America to meet this man, and it starts off from there. What I really liked about this is that there is autistic representation in this, and also this is an Own Voices book because the author is autistic as well, so I really like we got to see the struggles of someone who does deal with being autistic and how that affects their everyday relationships, how they process emotions, how they have different struggles than someone who doesn't, and we get to see that firsthand, and I really appreciated that, and I thought that was a very interesting representation you don't see very often. There definitely was an insta-love. We got to see the different struggles on both ends from both Kai and Esmeralda, and how being put in this situation with someone you don't know and how they both processed those different things and different tactics that were used. This one is definitely an adult romance, so it is quite raunchy in some aspects of it, and I really liked all of the supporting characters. However, this one, I don't think her writing style is for me. It took me quite a long time to finish this, considering it's a romance book. Usually I can blow through those very quickly. Not for this case, unfortunately. I didn't fully connect with the characters as much as I would have liked, and it's very easy to listen to. I just didn't really have anything pulling me back to the story, so I ended up giving this one a 3 out of 5 stars. So that is all for the books that I have read. I'm going to quickly go through the books that I'm planning on reading in March, and I have a short stack because we're already halfway through March, so I'm going to do this quickly. So some of these I've already started. Actually, most of these have already started. So let's go over the book club picks for the start of this. So for March, our book club pick is Most Likely by Sarah Watson for the Barnes & Noble book club pick. And this one, all I know about this one is that there is 4 girls, and you know that at the end of this, one of them is going to become president, and you don't know who it's going to be, and you're going to be rooting for all of them. That's literally all I know about this one, and I kind of want to go into it blind. I'll let you guys know what I think about this one once I pick that one up. Also, you guys know I am Sarah J. Maas trash. So, Crescent City. Gabby and I are discussing this one, but we are taking 2 months to read this one because it is a chunky book. So I have started this already a little bit, barely. And this one will take me a little bit to read this, but I'm very excited for this one. This is her first adult sci-fi, and I've heard raving things. So make sure that you guys are following us on Twitter so you guys know when the live show is going to happen. It's going to be on Gabby's channel, and it's going to be, I think, at the beginning of May. That's when we should be going through the live show for this. We will obviously let you guys know when it gets closer, dates, times, but definitely if you are already reading this, please come discuss because you know that we love Sarah J. Maas. And the next 2 are graphic novels that I've already started but I haven't finished yet. Giant Days, Volume 12. I am also trash for this series. It is such a good contemporary graphic novel. Obviously don't pick up 12, start with 1. Follows 3 girls in London going to uni and dealing with life pretty much, and it's such a comfort, like, cute graphic novel series that's just enjoyable, and it's my comfort read, and I love it so much. So I really need to get to this one soon because it is such a self-care act to read this one for me. And last but not least, I got sucked in to Goodreads and them selling me ads, and after about the 3rd ad and about like 3 swipes on my phone, I decided, I was like, alright, they're really pitching this one on Goodreads, I might as well just check it out. And I ended up buying it because I'm a sucker, and that is Harleen, and it's by Stepan Sejic. I apologize for that horrible pronunciation there. But this obviously is starring Harley Quinn. The coolest part about this is the amazing artwork. So first off, like, look at the artwork here. But when you take off the cover, amazing. Just stunning. I love the extra detail when they do stuff like that. It's so good. And the imagery, I've already started reading this one and it's fantastic. The imagery in here is beautiful and the storyline is really good. And we start off with Dr. Harleen Quinzel, and I love that we're getting that truth beginning of it instead of jumping into from different Harleys already. So I really appreciate this. I like that we get to see it's definitely the darker side of things, and I mean, it is stunning, stunning artwork. So I'm really enjoying this one so far, and I'm planning on finishing this one up in March as well, and I'll let you guys know what I think. So that is it for this long video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below if you have already read Crescent City, and what did you think? No spoilers, please. And we will see you guys for our live show, hopefully at the beginning of May, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.